We're live.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to Believers of Truth, Free Seventh-day Adventist Church in Archdale, North Carolina. Welcome to everyone here, and also welcome to our online visitors. This is the Medical Missionary Workshop, and we're glad to have everyone here, and we're going to start off with a word of prayer. Father in heaven, thank you so much for the opportunities that you give us to learn more about this wonderful, fearfully and wonderfully made body that you have created. And help us, Lord, to regard our bodies as your temples. Help us to utilize what we learned today and share it with others so that we all may be prepared to meet Jesus when he comes again. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, so we're going to start off by reading scripture out of the Bible. And I'm going to be reading from the King James Version. And this is 3 John, verse 2. And it says, 3 John, verse 2, it says, Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth. So God, this is telling us that God loves us, and he wishes that we will be in prosperous and in good health. And he wants us to be shining lights for him. And that's hard to do when we do things to our temple that cause sickness and illness and disable our bodies so that we cannot effectively be a witness for him. He wants us to be healthy. He loves us so much. And it's just like a car manual. When you buy a car, you don't put anything other than gasoline in the gas tank, or something's going to happen to your car. So our bodies are the same way. And if we would just follow the instructions that God's given us for our bodies, we would have more of a success in being a witness for him. So today, I want to start off by a short disclaimer. We are not medical doctors, or we're not giving medical advice to anyone. We're not suggesting that you do anything regarding your health. Always do your research and consult with your physician. But these are all natural remedies that God has supplied us with, and they are very effective. They are meant for a cure, not a Band-Aid. And so, but we just want you to know that with each individual, we realize everybody has existing illnesses and different things going on with their health. And this is a way to assist nature in healing itself. So we just want everyone to know that we don't know your specific situation with your health, and so we just want you to know that you can implement these things according to what is going on with you personally. Okay, so the subject that we're going to be talking about
Excuse me. Mystery to healing?
Yeah, I got it right here.
Okay.
The subject that we're going to be talking about today is the lymphatic system and how it works and how it works right alongside of our immune system and how it's part of our immune system. But we also want to read something. This comes from the book Ministry of Healing, and it's page 127 and paragraph 1 in Ministry of Healing. It says, the only hope it says the only hope of better things is in the education of people in right principles. Let physicians teach the people that restorative power is not in drugs, but in nature. Disease is an effort of nature to free the system from conditions that result from a violation of the laws of health. In case of sickness, the cause should be ascertained. Unhealthful conditions should be changed, wrong habits corrected, and then nature is to be assisted in her effort to expel the impurities and to re-establish right conditions in the system. So as I was saying, there may have been things that we have done in the past, to our bodies that now we're beginning to pay for, and they're beginning to show up with different symptoms in our health. But these can be corrected, and by the grace of God, He has given us natural healing remedies and things in nature to help us, and we have to trust Him, ask Him to be with us as we implement these things, and ask Him to bless our efforts. And He can do that, and He will, and He promises us that. So as I said, we're going to start talking about the lymphatic system, and we have a handout, and we're going to read the first page. We're going to give a short definition of what the lymphatic system is. And so I'll read this short definition. The lymphatic system is part of the immune system. It keeps the body fluid levels in balance and defends the body against infections. Lymphatic vessels, tissues, organs, and glands work together to drain a watery fluid called lymph from throughout the body. Now, what happens with this fluid called lymph, it's kind of like the circulatory system in the way that this lymph fluid needs to be constantly moving within these lymph vessels. And as it does that, it will return to the heart, and the heart then sends it to the kidneys and the liver to flush out the toxins. If this fluid in the lymph vessels is not moving properly and being properly stimulated, it cannot properly flush these toxins. So it's very, very important to our immune system that we keep this lymphatic system moving, and there's several ways to do that, and we're going to be talking about those ways. These are all very natural ways. So we're going to read about those. We have a picture here of sort of, what the lymphatic system looks like. And as you can notice, it's all throughout the body. It covers from your crown all the way down to your toes, all the way down to your fingers. It's all throughout. So it shows that because it is so widespread in your body, that it's vital that we keep it healthy. Just like your circulatory system, just like your skin, is the biggest organ. It covers the entire body, and it's so important that it stays healthy. So we're just going to read a little bit about the lymph and immune system on this diagram. It shows that up in the neck, we have the lymph nodes of the neck. We have the tonsils, We have the thoracic duct, thymus gland. We've got the lymph vessels of the chest. Then go down a little bit, we've got lymph nodes under the arms in the axillary region. Then we have the spleen. The spleen's on the left side. We have the lymph vessels of the abdomen. Then we have the appendix. We have the lymph nodes of the groin. Down in the knees, we have, the lymph nodes behind the knees. And these vessels are all connecting. And we have, I don't know, actually I should have looked this up, but we have so many lymph nodes. And it's so very important to keep them healthy and functioning. Our body depends on it. So the lymph system is kind of like the system that keeps things flushed. And it talks about, I read about lymphocytes, which are cells, and you can do your own research. There's so much to read about it, and I couldn't cover it all today. There's no way. But it talks about how the lymphatic system sends these cells to rush to areas of the body that need healing and flushing and cleaning. And we really, really need this to be healthy. So right now, I want to mention that recently I caught a virus from my granddaughter. And I mean, I've had several, viruses in my life, and but this virus, I caught it so quickly, and it seemed so difficult to get it cleared up. And I really never had that kind of problem getting a virus like that cleared up. It started as a sinus infection, and it accelerated very quickly into a lot of pain in my sinuses, and I lost my voice. I had no voice, and I had an irritable cough. I did not have chest congestion, but because of my sinuses being so congested, it caused me to cough and cough and cough. And so I started, it's really, sometimes it's hard to take care of yourself when you're sick, because you don't feel well, and it's a luxury when you have someone that can, help take care of you. But we won't always have luxuries like that. So God has, He gives us strength, when we need strength, and He's promised that to us. And so I really prayed and asked Him to help me get myself better, because, there's quite a few people that depend on me being well. And so, I'm just the type of person, I don't like being sick. It upsets me and frustrates me to be sick, because I feel like time is flying by, and it's flying by me, and I just want to be well. So I started praying that God would lead me to the remedies that I needed to concentrate on to get well. And He always, when you ask Him for help, He always helps you. He always comes through. And so He brought the lymphatic system to my attention, my immediate attention. And he does it in ways where he makes it very clear. And so I had never really, I knew what the lymphatic system was in a very general manner, but I had really never done a lot of research on it. And so I started to concentrate on my lymphatic system, because I knew from things that I was starting to read that my lymphatic system was going to help me if I just got it moving and got it going to help me, fight this virus that I had. So that's what I started to do, and I prayed to ask God to help me, and he did. And so it was a gradual process, but my granddaughter had this virus for a lot longer than I did. And she took antibiotics. She's 6 years old, so she took antibiotics, and it was not helping her. And so I'm just really thankful that God showed me what to do, because I was over it in just a little over 2 weeks, where my granddaughter was sick with it much longer. So anyway, I'm going to start on this page, ways to care for your lymphatic system. There's many ways, and this is just a fraction of how many ways you can keep your lymphatic system healthy. There's so many ways. It's incredible. But I'm just going to touch on a few. Okay, so one of the first ones is drinking lots of water. I normally drink lots of water, and that's my main. I don't hardly ever drink anything other than water. And so I think that was to my advantage. And so on a regular basis, we should make sure we get plenty of intake of water, because it will help prevent a lot of things that go wrong with your lymphatic system and your immune system. It keeps things moving. It keeps your blood, what's the word, lucid? It keeps your blood flowing. You won't get thick blood, and it will keep that lymphatic system moving. And so another one is exercise. What does exercise do? For everything in your body, gets everything moving, okay? And normally, we do things throughout the day, and you think, just because you're moving, like doing dishes or laundry or taking care of the child or, gardening. Well, gardening's good, but this is talking about moving exercise where you're getting your heart pumping, and you're starting to have to breathe deeper and stuff like that. So it's important to take a brisk walk, get everything moving, and you can, when you exercise, you can feel that everything is starting to really circulate. And so that's the kind of exercise this is talking about. The next one is, and I want to mention one thing. I did not put it on this list because it falls under exercise. Jumping jacks. So with jumping jacks, you're getting the up and down motion, which gets the lymphatic flow going where it's supposed to go. Plus, your arms and legs are moving outward and down. And it is one of the most effective exercises that there is for the lymphatic system. And it's easy. And it's fun. I always love doing jumping jacks with a kid. And it also gives you a burst of energy as well. Like if you feel tired, do a couple of jumping jacks, you know. So that's one really good exercise. So the next one is kind of goes with this, diaphragmatic breathing. So when you're really taking deep breaths in, you know, when you're really getting that diaphragm contracting and you're huffing and puffing, that's good. That is a very good thing. Not only are you sending oxygen to the blood, but you're getting this lymphatic flow to move. And you can even, you know, do deep breathing exercises just for that. You know, go outside in the morning when the air is clear. Hopefully you have a place, you know, that's, you know, not polluted. You can go out, get a deep breath of, you know, morning air and exhale. Breathe through your nose just as deep as you can and exhale. That's very, very good for you. Next thing we're going to talk about is hydrotherapy. The use of water is one of the most amazing things. And I cannot tell you, you know, I wish that I knew a lot about the use of water when I was younger, but I'm learning now how important it is for us to just utilize this life-giving thing that God gave us. And it's so simple. And there's a lot of ways you can do hydrotherapy. But one thing that I want to mention today that's really important for your lymphatic system is contrast hydrotherapy. So that's the exchange of hot and cold. So one of the things I started doing when I was sick was taking contrast showers a few times a day. Normally we don't, you know, we take a shower like once or twice a day, but I was using this hydrotherapy like 3 times a day, and I knew that this was going to help me, and I feel like God really directed me to this, to practice it. I didn't have anything else to do. I was sick. I wasn't feeling good. I couldn't do anything else. So I was home. So I had plenty of time on my hands. But this is it. If I would have done this contrast showering more regularly, like every day, once or twice a day, I might not have gotten the virus. It might have kept me stronger. So that's definitely something that I have learned, that I'm going to exercise, taking those showers every day, and they are wonderful. At first, you're like, when you first try it, you're kind of like shocked when that cold water hits you, but you start out 3 minutes of hot as you can stand without, you don't want to burn yourself. You start out 3 minutes hot water and just let it cover your body, and then 30 seconds cold as you can stand. And as you progress, those temperatures will seem less and less shocking, I guess, you know, and it won't, and it will just, you will look forward to those contrast showers, because they just get more and more just enjoyable, because it makes you feel wonderful. But that was one of the things that I did that really, really helped me get better and loosen things up, and things started to, you know, you could tell I started to get, my nose was starting to run, started to cough more, and I knew that my body was getting rid of that. And so I was really, really, really grateful for that and thankful for that. The next thing we're going to talk about is rebounding. This is such a simple, if you look into rebounding, they have strenuous levels of rebounding, which I haven't done yet because that's like hardcore exercise that I have not, done yet. But you don't have to do that. It's just the simple, they call it the health bounce. And it's just a very slow bounce. I should have brought my rebounder to show, but you can look it up. You can look up what is the health bounce on a rebounder. And it's just a very slow bounce. And all it does is gets that lymphatic flow going. And one thing that I did here, there was a natural doctor. He used to be in the mainstream medical field, and he became a natural doctor. Well, he started his patients that were ill, he started them on rebounding, just 15 minutes a day, the health bounce, just a really easy bounce. And it seemed like they were getting sicker. No, all it was, when they started having to blow their nose and they were coughing, all that was their body expelling these things. Some people think, well, oh, you're blowing your nose, that's not good. It is good. Your nose is running. That's good because your nose is a way for your body to expel. And coughing. Yes, when people cough, you can get germs, from cough, being near somebody that is coughing. But that's a good thing that they're coughing, because that means their body's getting rid of things that is not good for it to have. So if you start rebounding and say you're like I am right now, I don't seem to be, sick, and you start rebounding and things start, I start to act like I'm sick, that's a good thing, because it's going to get the lymphatic system moving, and it's going to start making your body expel these toxins. It will come out, it might cause you to cough, it may cause your sinuses to drain. We have a lot of things in our sinuses that get trapped that don't need to be there, and it can help that get rid of that. And not only that, when you sweat, you're getting rid of toxins as well. And it's important that you keep your skin healthy, and that also helps your lymphatic system and everything else. The next thing we're going to talk about is dry brushing. I learned about dry brushing it's probably been about 7 years ago or so, something like that. And I had never heard of it before. It does take a little research, but I'm just going to give you kind of a simplified explanation of what dry brushing is and what it does. So, like I said, the skin is the largest organ of your body, and when you stimulate the skin on the surface, so your lymph system is right beneath the surface of your skin. It's the next thing beneath the surface of your skin. So it doesn't take much to stimulate the skin and then in turn to stimulate the lymphatic system. So by stimulating the skin on the surface, you are right away stimulating the lymphatic system. So that's what we want to do. That is a very good thing. So dry brushing You want to get, there's many different dry brushes out there. A good portion of them are made with like boar bristles, which is, you know, an animal. But you want to find a vegan dry brush. So the bristles of that brush will be made from some sort of plant material. The one I have is made out of cactus. Now, I don't know what part of the cactus, but I know that it works and it's wonderful. I have one that's two-sided. One side is shorter bristles and it's very stiff. And then I have on the other side of that brush is longer bristles and they're softer. So whenever you start, this is another thing. I want to say that we're each very different. Our skin is very different and our skin is not all the same. Some people's skin is more sensitive. Some people have skin conditions that cause, you know, your skin to be open, you know, like, what's that called? People get like eczema, you know, different things. So, like for each, you need to tailor the use of things like this for your own health, because I don't know what that would be for each individual person. So, but these things can, dry brushing can also help with different skin conditions, but you are never supposed to dry brush on open skin, on open wounds. Never do that. If you have an open wound, go around, don't go over top of an open wound. But that's something that you need to research, because I can't tell you everything, you know, all the details. There's a lot of details you need to learn about first. It's always good to educate ourselves. And I had to do that. But what dry brushing does, mainly the purpose of that is to not only stimulate your skin and stimulate the lymphatic system, but you are getting that fluid, the lymph fluid, to move towards your heart. So when you dry brush, you always go toward your heart. You're here, you go toward the heart, okay? You're at your feet, you start on the soles of your feet. The stiffer bristles, I am somebody that likes to have bare feet. So my feet are kind of tough on the bottom. I don't wear shoes all the time. I wear them as little as possible. And so I use the stiff bristles. You too? Yes. I use the stiff bristles for the bottom of my feet, and then I turn it to the softer bristles and start getting that lymphatic fluid to move. And you can just, it is exhilarating. When you start from your, you know, extremities, and you start, you know, you can do short, you can do long strokes, or you can do short strokes, whatever you prefer. You start at your hands, do the insides, do the outsides, and you can just feel things start to happen because you get this exhilarating, tingling feeling, and that's so good. You know you're doing something good for your body when you start to feel that. Yes.
Is that
Speak
wet
up.
skin?
Speak up.
Wet skin, dry skin?
Dry.
Dry.
That's what it's called, dry brushing. So
Okay.
everything is dry.
Okay.
Yeah, everything is dry. That's one reason for that, is that you get better friction, and it helps open up your pores. Exfoliating, you know, when we exfoliate, you'll see, yeah, you'll see when you first start dry brushing, you will be like, wow, I've got dry skin, you know, sitting on the top that I didn't know I had. You know, a lot of us put lotion, you know, moisturizers on, and, you know, it kind of makes our skin not look dry, but that doesn't mean our skin still isn't dry. So dry brushing is a cure. It's a cure. It's not a cover up like a moisturizer. It takes care of it. And over time, you will see less and less of dry skin. I'm going to say this. Every time you use your dry brush, always clean it out. Rinse it out. Clean it out. So that when you start using it again, you're using a clean brush. Okay, so managing, excuse me, managing stress. There's a lot of ways to manage stress. Proper rest, exercise is good for managing stress. Having a positive attitude is good for managing stress. You know, if you go online, you will get a plethora of things that's good for managing stress. But I just want to, the best way that I have found to be the most effective is taking everything to the Lord in prayer. And that gives you a peace inside that is, you know, the Bible says it's beyond understanding. Because God is so great that the peace that He brings to you in your life, while all the craziness of the world is going on around you, it will keep your stress levels low. And having stress causes things in your body to happen and cripples your immune system. It cripples your lymphatics. It cripples a lot of things. It hurts your heart. It's damaging to your brain. Like, there's just so many things. So take it to the Lord in prayer. There's so much peace that you will get from that. Read His Word. Talk to Him throughout the day. Make sure He's walking beside you in everything you do. And that's what I found. That's my own experience. That's what I have found that keeps me calm and at peace and without stress. That doesn't mean that there are times. That doesn't mean that there are not times when I get stressed, because there are. Because we're going to face situations. It's how we take care. It's how we It's how we deal with it. What do we do with it when things come our way? Do we try to do it ourselves? That's always the worst way to do it. Try to do it yourself. You know, seek God, and He will always help you. An anti-inflammatory diet. There are so many foods and herbs and things that are anti-inflammatory. That's one thing you will have to do your research on it. The information is out there. It's not a secret, and you can find it. So on that one, we're going to turn to this last page here that talks about boosting your lymphatic system with foods. And this is just a few that are anti-inflammatory. So when I was sick, I took in lots and lots of citrus. I took in ginger. And here's water again. Lots and lots of water. Garlic. I ate a lot of sunflower seeds. And this has cranberries on it, but all of your berries are anti-inflammatory, and they're very, very good for you. Leafy greens, turmeric, we have seaweed, I'm not a fan of that, but that's okay, because there's a lot of other foods that you can eat. And adaptogens. Now I meant to like do some research on that, but there are so many wild edibles that we can become familiar with. That's a lot of times when spring is here now, and you see weeds start popping up. A lot of times we're like, oh, I guess it's time to get the weed killer out, and because the weeds are starting to come up. Well, there are so many things that we call weeds that we don't understand why God gave this to us. Some of them, are exactly that, and they're poisonous, and we need to become familiar with our wild edibles, because there are so many things that we can utilize that we would just not believe it. Just look into that, because I've found that just in my yard there's so many things that you can make a salad out of, and for medicinal purposes, as well. But anyways, that's another subject. But anyways, I just wanted to mention that. So also, so that was anti-inflammatory diet, and what that means is it takes down inflammation in your body. 100% of illnesses are caused by inflammation. It always boils down to inflammation. Loose clothing. Some people wear very tight clothing, and fashion demands that we follow the fashion and that we look good and everything, but it comes with a price if you're wearing very tight clothing. And the reason for that is simply you're cutting off circulation. Things cannot move properly if your clothing is tight. And not only that, looser clothing is way more comfortable. Lymphatic massage. Recently, I looked into this pretty in depth, and I've started to implement lymphatic massage. You can go and have a professional give you a lymphatic massage, but you can also administer your own. So one of the things that I did when I was sick, other than a lot of these other things, I was dry brushing, doing the contrast showers, watching what I was eating, making sure I was taking in these anti-inflammatory foods, and so one of the things that I started to do was simple, easy, no time at all. It doesn't take much of your time to give yourself, give parts of your body a lymphatic massage. And it's so easy, and you can actually start feeling it work right away. I'm going to explain that in a minute. I'm going to come back to that, because I'm going to show you how to do a simple lymphatic massage. Proper rest. That also, goes along with managing your stress. Get proper rest. We need it. Our bodies have to have downtime. We like to go and go and go and go, and we're afraid that we leave something for tomorrow. Sometimes there's a saying that says it's better to take care of something today than leave it for tomorrow. But sometimes you have to, and it's just to give your body time to heal, rejuvenate, and cells to reproduce, and we need it. We just have to have it. Like the contrast showers, proper proper rest is like the hot and cold. You have exercise and you're moving around and you're doing all these things, but rest would be like the cold, where it's time to do the opposite of that, you know. And those are the two sides of it. You need the proper rest and you need the exercise and the movement. Your body needs them both. They're both very important. And down lastly, we have eat berries, seeds, citrus, greens, and what these do is they are digestive scrapers. They scrape toxins from your digestive system. And I did a lot of reading about this, and this is amazing. There's so many things that this does for you, and it gets rid of those toxins, and it's part of helping the lymphatic system do its job. I want to talk about the lymphatic massage. You can try it as I demonstrate it. And now I did this morning, and usually, and I'm not worried about it, but usually I have to, because my nose will be kind of running because it's getting things working, and I'm really glad, because I really see now what it's doing for me and what it means. So it's a very good thing. So
You need to stand.
Yeah, if you want to participate.
You can, yeah, you can do it. You can do the standing or sitting. Yeah. So whatever you prefer. Okay. So this lymphatic massage. Since you're standing, you can start by your arm, and what you're gonna do is just take your hand, at least 3 fingers, but you can use all 4. Okay. And you're gonna start on the inside of your wrist, and you're gonna go up. You don't have to do it, you know, roughly or anything, but just apply enough pressure to, you know, so that you will stimulate the skin and you'll stimulate the vessels underneath. So you're gonna start on the inside, and you could do like, you know, 6 to 10 strokes, you know, and then you're gonna do the top. And already I'm feeling a tingling completely down to my ankles. I don't know if anybody else is feeling that, but it's because my lymphatic system is really moving now, and I do this every day. And you can do this, like you can do this with your hand or the dry brush. It accomplishes almost the same thing, but you know, not completely. This is more just a stimulation. That's why, you know, you can do it over your sleeve. You know, it doesn't matter as long as you're stimulating. And then you move to the bottom of your arm. So you're inside, top, and then bottom. And when you do this, you go all the way to your armpit, all the way. Okay? Okay, so that's a simple one. Another way you can do this is you can do that to stimulate, do the top.
Same area.
Same thing. Bottom. You can do the same thing. And I don't know, does anybody else feel the tingling?
Felt so down here.
Well, when if you're doing your legs, it's good to be in a sitting position on the floor. If
No, I'm talking about
or your
when you're doing your arms. You said you felt tingling.
it starts as soon as I start, because I've been doing this for a while. Right away, I feel tingling all the way down to my ankles.
On the same side or the opposite
The
side?
whole side,
Okay.
both sides. I should say.
Okay.
So that's one good thing. So now we're gonna do, and you can sit for this one if you want. So now we're gonna do this. We're gonna do a simple lymphatic massage on your face and your head and your neck. One of the things that I did, have to kind of educate myself on is how these vessels are running in your body. This is, not a super detailed diagram, but if you look more closely and do more research, you'll find that, like, the way they run, the way they drain, it's all very important to know. And I can't go into that again, all that, but one thing that'll kind of tell you about what I'm showing you to do is the direction. Like I said earlier, towards the heart, because that's how they drain. And you can take one of those papers. Yeah, that's where we're working on. We're talking about lymphatic massages that you can do, for yourself. Okay, so we're going to start on the face. This is kind of important with these massages because a lot of our problems, end up in our sinuses. Okay, and so we're gonna do this. So again, you're gonna use two fingers. That's probably good. They kind of run in the direction of down and out. They go on your ears. They go down. Okay, and then you have some underneath the jaw, and they run down the neck and across the collarbones. So if you kind of get a picture of how they run, you can remember, and you're always going out, working your way out, and working your way out. So we're going to start by, you could do 3 fingers. So right here above your brow, you're going to stimulate those. You can rub if you want, but I kind of find and it's kind of relaxing, but I kind of find that the stimulation with your fingertips like that seems to get that lymphatic flow going better for me, but that's just me. I've tried both ways. There are some ways that I do, just use like a stroke, but I find that on the face, it's stimulating. And also one thing that I found out is doing this on your face stimulates collagen also. So at my age, I know I've lost a lot of collagen in my skin, and so this stimulates collagen reproduction. So we're going to start with the top. We're going to go out, and you do it like 5 times, and you can feel, I don't know, I already feel like tingling all around my neck area. Okay, so what that means is that it's starting to help move things. And so above, starting at the bridge of your nose, you're going to go, you have your cheekbone, you're going to go up on top of the cheekbone. So we're going to do this at first, starting at your bridge, work your way out on top of your cheekbone and down in front of your ear. So we're going to, on top of the cheekbone, down in front of your ear. Now this one is starting at your nostrils, and that gets you at the bottom of your cheekbone. So we're going to stimulate underneath the cheekbone and down, underneath and down. The next one is on top of your lip. It stimulates when you're going out, across, and it's kind of on the top of your bottom jaw, underneath your top jaw. Okay? Then we're going to do your chin, so we'll be on top of your bottom jaw right here. Okay? And down. Okay. The next thing we're going to do a 2. We're going to go put your ear between.
That feels real good.
Yeah, it does. And anybody else feel the tingling?
I feel something's going on. I feel something.
We're getting all the sinuses.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, it's kind of like we have a lot of, we carry a lot of things in our sinuses that we don't know it's there. And the only reason we don't know it's there is because your body's not expelling it. It's just sitting there. And your lymphatic flow is not moving like it should, so we don't know that that's there. And so you do that. There, this side. Yes?
And one thing, it seems that this helps with stress too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, stress.
Oh yeah. Okay. So now you got your throat that goes down in a column. Okay. So we're gonna take your, well, 2 fingers is good. We're gonna go down. This is gonna be a rubbing motion. We're gonna go down. Now, if you want to get some sort of natural oil, you know, not necessarily aromatherapy oils or anything like that, but something like vitamin E oil or jojoba oil or coconut oil. That way you can glide easier. But you're going to start here, go down. When you reach your collarbone, you're going to come out to the edge of your collarbone and go in until you meet right here. Go down, and then, and this is, that makes me tingle, just because it's starting to make things move. Okay, on the back, occipital bone, right here. So what we're going to do is take a couple fingers, start at the center, and move out. Move out. Move out. Move out. Move out. Then you're going to take 3 fingers on the side of your neck, and it's kind of like at the back, and you're going to go down. 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 And basically you can just follow, once you have done reading about the flow and how these vessels, what direction they're flowing, the next one will be, I'm not going to do the whole body because that would take a lot of time. We're going to start at your shoulder and go out. I can't do it with my jacket right now, but we're going to go out. It's very relaxing, stimulating, and it gets things moving. So that's basically what I wanted to share today, and there's a lot more that I would love to share, but there, you know, time is of the essence, and so I hope that everyone has learned a lot, and there's a lot more to learn. So please do your research and look into these things, and look into how you can keep your lymphatic system healthy, because your immune system depends on it. So thank you very much. Huh? Should I move these? Oh, okay. That's what I was asking.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so you can see. Okay.
Mother, could you text Auntie? On Twitter. And see her pop up. Till we live.
Okay, so our next presentation is on cabbage poultice. We're going to discuss cabbage and the ingredients and the uses of cabbage first. I have some handouts, okay? So I'm going to give these handouts.
So one of each.
Yes, one of each. And one good book is this book called God's Pharmacy. And it's God's Pharmacy with a F. Farm, F-A-R-M-A-C-Y.
That's right.
And it talks about cabbage, its uses, and it also have the cabbage poultice in there. So we're going to talk about some properties of cabbage, uses of cabbage, and then we'll demonstrate the cabbage poultice. Alrighty. So that handout is the one coming from the God's Pharmacy, the God's Pharmacy book. Okay. It says, throughout history, cabbage has been considered a poor man's food. However, this does not negate the fact that cabbage is a lifelong guardian of health and a healer of wounds. Cato the Elder, a Russian statesman and farmer, claimed that cabbage surpasses all other vegetables. He declared if the Romans had endured the previous 6 centuries without physicians, it had to be attributed to use of cabbage, because it is one of the richest sources of essential vitamins and minerals. Dr. Kurt Dunsbaugh states that along with tomato, cabbage is one of 2 outstanding foods that should be eaten every day. Cabbage moves in many different forms, from the most common white cabbage to red, from Chinese to Savoy, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, cauliflower, kale, and kohlrabi. They are all in the same family. Despite the different shapes and colors, cabbage in general is packed with healing properties. Because of its sulfur content and a substance called histidine, cabbage is effective in fighting cancer by inhibiting tumor growth, strengthening the immune system, and detoxifying the body from harmful chemicals. Cabbage also contains vitamins such as beta-carotene, vitamins B, C, E, and K. Vitamin U, found in raw cabbage, is reputed to play an important role in healing ulcers. And we do have someone here that has tried the cabbage.
And it works.
For the ulcers, and it works.
Yes.
Cabbage is also rich in minerals, especially potassium, which makes it effective in treating hypertension. Its calcium content is remarkably as high as half that of cow's milk, and it is better absorbed by the body. Cabbage is a laxative, as its fiber content can help to regulate the bowels. Some may experience flatulence, which is gas, or intestinal gas, because old waste has been broken up. This condition can be addressed by cleansing the bowel with carrot juice and an enema for several days, especially before taking cabbage juice. Adding cabbage to the diet can benefit the whole family. The anemic can benefit from the iron content. The blood sugar levels of the diabetic can be lowered. Cabbage in the diet is enormously valuable for people with cirrhosis of the liver, especially caused from alcohol consumption, dysentery, intestinal parasites, arthritis, and gout. It has even been shown that it can give protection from radiation and has bombarded our society today. Now with me, because I have thyroid problems, you know, it says a lot of times, especially raw cabbage. Now cooked cabbage is fine, but eating excessive raw cabbage can interfere with iodine absorption by the thyroid. These individuals consider taking kelp supplements. People with hypothyroidism or goiter should avoid raw cabbage, especially if you're doing a lot. I'm saying you can do raw cabbage, but don't do it a lot. And then it helps if you take a kelp supplement. But it has been studies on cabbage and the properties and the cabbage poultice. It says, I found this, and you can also look up videos on YouTube, videos on YouTube of the cabbage poultice too, and the study. It says, unbelievably, a random controlled trial of cabbage leaf wraps for arthritis was published in a section of the British medical journal called Minerva. It's not in your thing. Called Minerva. A picture was published of a woman who had taken the cabbage leaf to her knee. She said that was the only measure that provided relief from the symptoms of her osteoarthritis. Some doctors responded with, they was just amused, didn't believe what was going on. It says they were responded with bemusement, and another was amazed. Not amazed that a cabbage leaf was used, but that it was considered newsworthy, The doctor disclosed that one doctor disclosed that she may be a little biased, though admitting to being a cabbage leaf user herself. It says cabbage leaves are known in European folk medicine, again, as the poor man's poultice. This is nothing new about this ancient remedy used to help reduce all kinds of painful swelling. It was a randomized control trial to study efficacy of cabbage leaf wraps in the treatment of sympathetic osteoarthritis of the knee. It was the foundation of Germany, the former president and first lady who funded the study. And this is patients confirmed osteoarthritis of the knees were randomly assigned to one of 3 treatments for 4 weeks: a cabbage leaf on their knees every day, a topical pain gel containing an anti-inflammatory drug, and then one with neither. It was just using usual care. It says the topical gel did not work much better than doing nothing at all, but the cabbage leaf treatment actually worked in reducing pain intensity. Overall, the study found that a 4-week application of cabbage leaf wraps was more effective than usual care with respect to pain, functional disability, and quality of life. Since cabbage leaves are safe and may be used in longer terms, why not give them a try if you have osteoarthritis of the knee? It also wouldn't hurt if you ate some as well, as cabbage may have internal inflammatory potential as well. The magic chemical protects cartilage from destruction, suggesting that a diet high in cabbage or other cruciferous vegetables may be a useful measure either to prevent or to slow the progression of osteoarthritis. Keep your cabbage, okay. And so I guess the other handouts are there. We're gonna look over those. We got this one right here. We're gonna talk about the benefits in the, this is cabbage is part of the Racecia family and is known to have the following properties and actions. It's anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, erythematic, heals tissues by encouraging cells to proliferate, liver decongestant, protects the stomach from gastric hydrochloric acid. The key components such as vitamins and minerals, especially A, B, C, E, calcium, sulfur, silica, magnesium, iodine, iron, and phosphorus, chlorophyll, and then it's got mustard oils. So those are some of the anti-inflammatory and all of that. You can read the rest of it. But then on this one, it talks about the excellent properties also of cabbage. So I outline some of that. It says it's an excellent inflammatory. Cabbage contains lactic acid, which acts to disinfect the colon. Used to reduce the pain, headaches, and rheumatic disorders. It soothes eczema and other itching or weeping skin conditions. It has been known as an anti-cancer. Draws out infection. Red cabbage leaves are the basic ingredient of a good cough syrup. Its uses. It has been said, if you make cabbage a regular part of your diet to reduce the risk of cancer, cabbage poultice, which we will be demonstrating today, can be applied to boils and affected cuts to draw out the infection and disperse pus. Applied to bruises and swelling. Macerated cabbage leaves will encourage healing. Dab white cabbage juice on the mouth ulcers and gargle for sore throat. A warm cabbage compress on the affected area reduces the pain of headaches and some kinds of neuralgia. That's nerve pain. Drink fresh cabbage juice daily to reduce the comfort of gastric ulcers and bronchial infections. A cabbage leaf lightly pounded, it would can be placed on. They used to give it to mothers back then who had problems when they were breastfeeding. It would help to bring in the breast milk, and it would help to relieve them when they have engorgements or anything like that. Raw cabbage juice is said to help the ulcers, psoriasis, headaches, asthma, cystitis, and bronchitis. All right. And then we got another handout. This one is really good. We're not going to go over all of that right now. But you can look over this. It's got a lot of good information on it. But we're going to start now with the cabbage. First you need an organic cabbage. You can use any kind of cabbage. They said red cabbage, Savoy cabbage. You can use regular cabbage, but they did say, I read that the greener the leaf, the more potent. But you can use any cabbage. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna
Got a question?
Yeah. I see down here the caution, do not eat red cabbage raw.
Red cabbage, yes, because of the iron. Because of the iron that's in it. Yeah.
So it said we should not eat red cabbage raw.
Raw, red cabbage, not too much of it. You shouldn't eat it raw because it has a lot of iron. Because if you see down there again too, it says it causes constipation. All right. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna tear off the leaves. And this is kind of hard because I only have one hand.
Well, ain't nobody thought you had an assistant.
Yes, ma'am, I do. Because I will need two of y'all to assist. Because
That washing.
one of you gotta be
You're gonna need both of them?
yeah, because one of you gonna have to
Be patient.
be the patient.
Okay, wash my hands.
Yes. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna wash the cabbage leaves, okay?
Where's your daughter, Mother?
Probably somebody house. No, that gas bill tomorrow.
Yeah, early.
So we have to wash the cabbage leaves, and then we're gonna dry them off. All right. Then what you have to do is you have to cut out the big stem. A lot of times I've seen people use a V-shape. Thank you. And then what you're gonna do is, if you have a mallet, or if you have a rolling pin, or you can even use a jar, but you have to bruise the cabbage to get the juices. So that's what you need, is the juices in the cabbage. So first of all, what we need to do is we're gonna go over this. We're gonna, all I'm doing this, we're gonna read the instructions, okay? Here you go. I'm gonna get y'all to read it for me.
Instructions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It says take 1 or 2 washed and dried cabbage leaves, depending on the size of the area you want to cover.
Mm-hmm.
And like she said, the greener the leaf is the better. Cut out the bottom stem like she did, the central rib. Bruise the leaves, which she's doing now, until it's moist.
Then, what you can do to make it more effective is
Warm the leaves by
Mhm.
putting them on a cookie sheet in the oven at a temperature of 200 degrees for 1 to 2 minutes, or until warm to the touch.
yes, because you don't want it too hot, because you don't want it to burn you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I was just looking at that.
okay, so we're gonna put one of them in the oven. Yes, go ahead and put that one in the oven for me. You can also use cold cabbage compresses. You know, like you do when you have a, you, like me, you fracture your arm and you need something cold, to put on there. I've also seen, it's on one of my sheets, that you can use the cold cabbage compresses. It says keep your cabbage compresses. It says cabbage leaves can create great warm and cold compresses. For the cold compresses, you would refrigerate the cabbage before you begin the process. So you can refrigerate it and then, put it on and wrap. So that would help with swelling and things like that too, when you got bruises and things that you hurt yourself.
And in the future, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get enough cabbage juice to, I guess to take?
You have to juice your
Juice
cabbage.
it,
You
put
have
it
to
in the
juice your
juicer.
Mm-hmm.
So, could you use a blender?
You
For
could
it?
use the blender and then strain the juice out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or you can just juice it, whichever one you had. Alright, so I think that's bruised enough. I've seen where they have used it just the cabbage and not put it in the oven, but putting it in the oven would make it more effective, especially, you know how some people want warm things on them.
Mhm.
So like I said, you can use it warm, cold, or you can just use it like this, okay? But I've also known people to sometimes add turmeric for more effective, but you gotta watch turmeric because it's staining, okay? and also charcoal. So that would help. I'm saying the charcoal properties and the cabbage properties would help probably draw out more. Okay.
Yeah.
So we can use this. We can need a chair. We're gonna need our patient. Who wants to be the patient? All right. So you want the warm one?
Yeah, it had the oven needed to warm, so if you wanna do the cold, whichever one you wanna do. To keep moving, we just
We
check
can
it.
do both.
Okay.
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 All right.
So what is supposed to, what's the warm supposed to do? The cold versus the warm, which,
Read, because it says on there.
For more serious wounds, I think you're going to be, it says, for more serious wounds, you may plunge cabbage leaves into boiling water or soak in olive oil for an hour to soften, to make it cling better, and to increase antiseptic effect. So I think it just depends on what injury.
how severe it is?
The treatment, what you treating.
Yes.
Because I know a lot of times I didn't even realize that they even warm the cabbage. They just always beat it and
Yes.
put it on.
Because, so a lot of them I've seen it says to warm it.
Oh.
To make it more effective. It will be effective with just the juices, just putting it on. But to make it more effective, you know how like you always want to put, like if you got a backache, you always want to put something warm on it.
Better absorption.
Yes, better absorption. So you know, if you warm it, it would help to absorb better, and it would help with the pain. Okay. All right. So what we're gonna do is.
One other
Can we
thing you said was to use olive oil.
Yeah, to soften it, soak it for an hour.
We're doing the knee.
Mm-hmm.
Can
we're
you
gonna
see
do the
the
knee.
Can you see the knee?
If you move out.
Yes.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
what you would do is you would put the cabbage around the knee, whatever part is ailing you. All right. Then you take it and wrap it with plastic wrap.
You gonna do the other knee?
Yeah.
You want to hear it?
The warm.
Oh, you got scissors?
With the plastic wrap. And then you take it to keep that in place, and you know how sometimes the juices will
Got some
flow.
more of that wrap. We need to get that wrap that we used last. What's that wrap we used at one time that cleaned real good? Remember that?
It was a adhesive type, you know, when they
Like
use
the
the doctor's
adhesive.
That
office.
Covan. You talking about like the
Like we use at the coat on charcoal.
It's like what you've got on your cast.
like this right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, that type. Okay.
Mm-hmm. You can use any Ace Bandage or either that Covan. So then you're gonna take it and wrap it to keep it on with another wrap.
This happens to be in the knee that I have. I have a knee that gives me trouble sometimes. This is the one.
So we keep it on till tomorrow.
How
What?
long is supposed to?
Yeah, they said you can keep it on for
6 to 8 hours.
you can keep it on to 6 to 8 hours, or you can keep it on an hour, whichever how long. But if you're gonna put it on at night, you can keep it on overnight. There you go.
I feel good. I feel healed. I've been healing from my knee pain.
All right. And like I said, you can also do the warm cabbage wrap. So I'm pretty sure that would probably feel a whole lot better.
Yeah.
Yes.
We do the other. My back hurts. You know, my back.
Yeah, a lot of
Is
people
there some
use
way you
that for
can
the
do
back.
that?
Yeah,
There's a way.
yeah, because you all do the wrap. You just
Yeah.
put the.
Oh, yes.
Oh, right.
Yes. All right. So we're going to use the other one. I can smell it too. And I don't want it to be too hot.
Let me see. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
Is it too hot?
No.
Okay.
Alright,
Where's
feels good.
smell of cabbage?
Is it more like, say if it's muscular, do you probably want to use cold more? And like if it's joint
Yes.
pain,
Yes.
use the warm?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cold more, and like if it's joint
I've seen
warm?
Yeah.
Sharika and Desiree do this too.
Oh, right.
When I was in Kansas, when I was in Kansas, what was the name?
That feels really good.
It feels good.
Yeah. I'm gonna go home, so I won't have to be able to Publix, no.
Keep this one on.
Oh, so this ain't that stuff.
Mm-mm.
We had that somewhere.
But that's all right.
That's
All you do is take it.
okay. Yeah. You feel it.
Yeah.
This feels good, just to even have it wrapped, I can feel it.
Really?
I can feel the properties the Lord has put it into working.
All right. So that's what you do.
Feels good.
And you leave it on for however many hours you desire to leave it. You can also change it out every 2 to 3 hours, to keep getting the juices from the cabbage leaves and everything.
I can get up and walk around.
Yes, you bet. Yes, ma'am. And like I said, if you use it at night, you can also leave it on at night, for more effectiveness. Okay. Any questions? I'm gonna read this. It says, you may use it as a compress by chopping the cabbage leaves well. Add Epsom salt, 1/2 cup to every cup of chopped cabbage. Wrap in muslin and apply to the painful area after warming it. This compress offers much relief for muscle aches, sciatica, neuralgia, rheumatism, arthritis, pleurisy, and liver attacks. For migraines, apply to the brow. For colds or asthma, apply to the chest and throat. When used for wounds, clean the wound before applying the poultice. So this is very effective in a lot of things. Okay. Do anyone have any questions?
I have a question. Is red cabbage the same as purple cabbage? Is that the same thing?
I'm not sure. I didn't really research the red and the purple, but I'm pretty sure it is.
Because I've eaten a lot of
Raw red. It's like, I'm saying you eat it, but you don't eat it a lot.
No,
Okay.
this is just like, do not eat it raw. So I'm like, oh, I didn't know that.
No, you can eat it raw, but just don't eat a lot, large amounts. Because I know some people with, who's had blood clots and on blood thinners a lot. They can't eat a lot of green leafy things because it says it acts as a, I can't even think. It acts as a blood thinner.
Blood thinner?
Yes.
So
So a lot of them, have to stay away from a lot of things like that. Okay. Any other questions? You want to read anything on that one, the one I was talking about, the long one that has a lot of. Okay, yeah, we can read this. It says, wild cabbage is native to the coast of English Channel and the Mediterranean, but cultivated varieties are produced worldwide as a vegetable. It is biennial and perennial with a thick stem, gray-green leaves, and 4 petals, flowers, growing in 8 feet. Within the first year, it produces a greatly enlarged terminal bud that develops into the familiar cabbage head. This is cabbage. The plant has been cultivated for at least 4,000 years. It has been called the poor man's medicine chest and doctor of the poor. Cabbage are used by sailors to prevent scurvy. It was also an ancient remedy for TB. Cabbage has an ancient reputation for for purifying the blood, a practice seen today as decoction and fresh cabbage juice are taken as a good cleanser and detoxifier. You know, I've seen a lot of, I don't know if y'all seen it, but you know, a lot of people, when they're trying to lose weight, they say cabbage soup.
Mm-hmm.
Cabbage soup to help lose weight.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Cabbage has been used for a lot of things, yes. It has been used by the Romans as an antidote for alcohol. Believe it counterattacks intoxication and prevents or reduces a hangover. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's all through my research. It has been said that it
Cabbage is an antidote for alcohol. So
Alcohol.
if you have a hangover or something.
Yes, to reduce a hangover. This concept has been validated since cabbage aids in the breakdown of toxins in the liver. In a Greek ritual, cabbage has been given to expectant mothers shortly before birth in order to establish good breast milk production, a practice that is carried out by women of any culture today. Because I've seen a lot of women when they're breastfeeding, and you know how they hurt and they get engorged. Yeah. A lot of them will put cabbage leaves on there to soothe that. Cabbage leaves have long been used as a poultice to treat infected wounds. And we already had this part. We read this part: anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, anti-rheumatic, heals tissue by encouraging cells to proliferate, a liver decongestant, protects the stomach from gastric hydrochloric acid. The key components: vitamins and minerals, especially A, B, C, E, calcium, sulfur, silica, magnesium, iodine, iron, and phosphorus, chlorophyll, and mustard oils. Medicinal parts is the leaves. Extensive modern research largely confirms it, and it has been shown to stimulate the immune system and production of antibiotics. Its sulfur compounds are largely responsible for its antiseptic, antibiotic, and disinfectant actions, particularly in the respiratory system. An amino acid, methionine, found only in raw cabbage, is responsible for promoting the healing effects. As an old remedy for hangovers and used for dry out alcoholics, cabbage is showing through modern research that a substance called glutamine can help both peptic ulcers and alcoholism. Its turmeric inhibiting constitutes are the bioflavonoids, indoles, gestnistine, and it's some hard words, monoterpenes. Poultices have long been used to treat wounds, burns and scalds, boils and carbuncles, bruises and sprains, ulcers, blisters, cold sores, shingles. Wow, I never knew about shingles, and bites and stings. Its anti-inflammatory action can benefit swollen and painful joints and help relieve the pain of neuralgia, sciatica, toothache, headaches, migraines, and lumbago.
Brother Gaddy, he shared a testimony on how he had tooth pain, and he took.
That's where he kept it.
He kept putting raw cabbage in there to soothe the tooth pain, so it actually worked for him.
Wow.
For his tooth pain.
Oh,
cabbage,
wow.
raw cabbage.
Okay. Traditionally, it was applied over the abdomen and left overnight to treat peptic ulcers also. Not only drinking it, putting it on the abdomen.
And it says here, and bowel problems.
Bowel problems. Mm-hmm. Applied during the day to the lower abdomen, it was thought useful to soothing cystitis and renal colic. That's your kidneys. And the relief of fluid retention. Poultices along with cabbage tea or juice were taken to relieve the pain and soreness of a harsh cough. And if the poultices were applied to the throat, they helped soothe tonsillitis and laryngitis. To make a poultice, cut out the midrib of the leaf, like we did, and iron it. Oh, you can also iron it to get it hot. Wow. And iron it. Place while still hot onto the area to be treated, being careful not to have it too hot or to leave it on too long as to cause blisters. Now, if you feel that it's too hot, or and then also, if you feel that your skin is itching or getting irritated, take it off immediately, okay? Fresh leaves steeped in olive oil can be applied to chapped skin, chilblains, varicose veins, abscesses, and boils. Fresh juices can be used as a diuretic and antiseptic for the urinary tract and to ease fluid retention and to reduce or prevent kidney stones, arthritis, and gout. Goggles made with cabbage juice are used for sore throats. Lotions with the juice can relieve burns, bites, cold sores, aches, impetigo, and if squeezed into the ear, they can help heal earaches. It says this must be done by a professional. Eye wash made with cabbage juice and warm water and excellent to sore, tired eyes. I've also read that back then they used to put it on the eyes for eye salve for people with eye problems. Fresh leaves can be placed directly onto the wounds or even into a broth for mastitis or engorged breast to use. Cut out the midrib and beat the leaf gently to soften it and release its medicinal properties, then place it on the affected area. Decoctions are used for digestive problems, including colitis. Syrup made with a decoction can be used for coughs, asthma, and bronchitis. Traditional uses. Because of its iron and chlorophyll content, it has long been used to treat anemia. See, that's what they was talking about, the red cabbage, because it's got so much iron. You have to be careful because, iron itself can constipate you.
Yes,
So that's why they was talking about eating the red cabbage too much could constipate you. It is taken to treat anxiety, depression, insomnia, exhaustion. Breastfeeding mothers use it to stimulate milk production. In soups and teas, cabbage has long been used during colds, flu, sinusitis, and sore throats. Cabbage has long been used to heal ulcers. A lot of this is just repeating itself. Ulcers, as it contains mucilage that coats the lining of the digestive tract, protecting it from irritants and excessive acid. It is recommended that 2 or 3 glasses of freshly extracted juice be taken between meals to relieve peptic ulcers, gastritis, heartburn, and ulcerative colitis. And we know that the peptic ulcer remedy helps because, like I said, Roxy has used it for peptic ulcers and it helped.
It got rid of it, it cured it.
Yes, it cured it. It is used to stimulate the digestive and relieve constipation, especially when it's cooked. A traditional Russian cure for chronic constipation is 1/2 glass of salted cabbage juice taken before each meal. So salted cabbage juice taken before each meal. However, it can be just as effective without the salt. Okay. As a tonic, cabbage has long been used to treat cirrhosis of the liver. Again, with the alcoholism, as well as lethargy, irritability, and headaches, all symptoms associated with a sluggish liver. Cabbage may help reduce blood sugar, so may be a benefit to diabetics. Like other brassicas, cabbage also has the ability to help lower the risk of cancer, especially of the colon and growths of polyps, which often are a prelude to cancer. When eaten raw, cabbage has been shown to help protect against the effects of radiation. Cabbage also appears to enhance the body's ability to metabolize estrogen, helping to reduce susceptibility to breast, uterine, and ovarian cancers if eaten regularly. Externally, cabbage leaves have a soothing, antiseptic, and healing effect, and the ability to draw out toxins from the skin. Cabbage poultices are also excellent for sore throats and hot, swollen joints. Lightly crush the leaves, blanch in boiled water, and wrap around the area. Leave on for 2 to 4 hours and renew as necessary. Care is needed not to blister the skin. Wow. Cabbage has a lot.
I'm gonna go buy some cabbage.
Yes.
I don't have any.
Again, in order to be able to juice it, you could take a blender and blend it up and then strain it.
Drain it.
To get the juice that way, or
Yes.
use a juicer itself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
And I wanna say that my poultice, the warm one is still warm and the cold one is cold, so it's still warm. That
Oh,
one is
wow.
warm. There's a
That's good.
difference.
So you got one each new?
I got a
Yes.
cold one
She got
on
cold one on one and a
warm
warm one on the other.
And that's been how long ago that we put the warm poultice on? Probably about
10.
10 minutes or so, and
15.
it's still warm.
So if you take it off, you can wash it off and eat it.
I don't think we want to take it off and wash it out for eating.
Food, don't put it out when you're on the run.
All righty, well that's it for our cabbage poultice.
Amen.
All right.
Lord, thank you, sis.
Yes. I pray that it helps someone.
Sure. Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is we're coming to a close, and before we close, I would like to let everyone know about the next class, which will be on April the 16th. By God's grace, same time from 2 to 4. And also this book that was referred to, God's Pharmacy, we'll make it available for those that would like to get the information on how to get one. Please email me at amccoy1012@yahoo.com, or please call me at 336-259-4997. And any other way, those that know me, they know they can reach me at any time. Anytime they need to. So I just want to close out with that, and also now I'm going to close with a prayer. And until next time, let's bow our heads for a word of prayer. Father in heaven, we thank you, Lord, for these natural remedies that you've been given to us since ancient times. These remedies go back for thousands of years. And we just thank you for the opportunity to provide this information, because there are a lot of people that may be viewing right now that have never even heard of these natural remedies. And one thing about these natural remedies, that they have no side effects. They won't cause another problem or issue within your body. You can always stop them at any time, and they're not addictive in any way. So these remedies, Lord, and all those that the instruction that was given today, I want to thank each one, Sister Roxy, Sister Sophia, and our participants, Sister McCoy, and everyone here. But everyone on the streaming, this YouTube, and also on Facebook, they can always go back and look at these things if they miss something. And we just pray that these things help so many people. And cabbage is very cheap. It don't cost much of anything, and it can do so much as we eat it. And also it can help with all the different medicinal properties that's in it by using these poultices and compresses. And Lord, we just want to thank you for this opportunity you've given us. And I pray that each one that viewed it may learn something and take something and share it with their family members or someone else. And I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen.